Good morning Year 2 and welcome to today's English lesson. I would like you to write the date and skill in your book please. The date today is Thursday the 4th of February 2021 and your skill is to create a trailer using a comic strip. I'd like you to write this in your book now and then unpause the video when you're ready to begin. Off you go please. Okay, so today is the day then. Today is the day that we are going to create our trailers. Now we've worked really hard this week looking at different trailers and planning our trailers yesterday, and today is the day we're going to finally be creating it, so it's very, very exciting. So I want you to think about then, can you remember what you are going to include in your trailer? So have a little look back at yesterday's learning and look back at the answers that you wrote to the questions about your trailer and think about how we performed our trailer with the puppets that you created. Okay, and I want you to look back at this learning just to refresh your memory so you're ready to create your trailer using the comic strip today. So pause the video and take as long as you need to look back through your plan from yesterday, please. Off you go. Pause the video, please. Okay, so to create our trailers then, we are going to use the structure of a comic strip. So what does a comic strip include? If I was to look at a comic strip, what would I see? What are the main features? I'd like you to pause the video and discuss this with the person next to you. Have a little think with your adult or have a little think on your own. Pause the video now, please. So the three main things then that are included in a comic strip are pictures. Okay, so we have pictures of what the characters are doing in the setting and some of the events of what they're getting up to. Dialogue, which are the speech between characters, okay, in the comic strip. So we might have some speech of one character talking to another, maybe describing what the event and what's happening. And some descriptions. We might have some description of what's happening, we might even have some adjectives in there, but the dialogue tends to be quite short, okay, and the main focus is really on the pictures of what's happening, and the dialogue and description are just to support that and help give you a little bit more understanding. So, what I'd like you to do now then is I'm going to show you some examples of comic strips now in the next couple of slides, and I would like you to see if you can spot these three things. So pictures, dialogue and description. Are we ready? So here is the first example. So we've got a lovely Batman comic and I would like you to pause the video and see if you can find the pictures, the dialogue and the description. Off you go please. Okay, so hopefully you've seen the pictures are really obvious, aren't they? We can see them here, so we've got lots of different pictures of the different events that are happening. Okay, so we can see the car then speeding to an unknown destination, so we've got some description there of unknown destination. We've got some dialogue as well, so over here we can see it's the Batman, get him. So one of the characters is saying that in the comic strip. So hopefully then you'll have spotted those three things. Let's have a look at another example now then. So we've got another superhero comic strip and I would like you to pause the video and see if you can find the pictures, the dialogue and the description. Pause the video now please. Okay, so once again then we can see the different pictures going along in our comic strip of what's happening, so it shows the events really clearly, doesn't it? We can also see some dialogue, okay, so let's go Wonder Woman, sorry. So we can see some dialogue there and we can also see some description throughout this as well, okay? So let's have a look then at the last comic strip. So I'd like you to pause the video now please and have a look for pictures, dialogue and description. Off you go please. Okay, so you can see then this one is slightly different to the comic strips that we have looked at, the two comic strips that we've looked at previously, because there are not many words in this at all, so there's not much dialogue at all and there's not much description at all in this one. Okay, and that's fine, we can tell what's happening from the pictures. So if we have a look then we can see a picture going through showing the events, okay, and we've got some lovely words here, okay, some onomatopoeia words, so splash and swoosh, okay, describing what's going on. We've got gulp up here. Okay, and then we have got a little bit of dialogue. So we've got here, so we've got they took the heart, and then this character here is saying, and two more boats are coming our way. So we've got a little bit of dialogue there between two of the characters, but not much description at all, okay? If that is something that you're going to do in your trailer, where you're not going to have much dialogue and much description, then you're going to need to make your pictures really, really clear so that in each picture we can see exactly what is happening, okay? So, your task today then, you are going to be creating your own comic strip And you are going to need to decide how many images you need to include to show your trailer in full. So each of those examples there that we looked at, those 3 examples, had a different number of images and had a different amount of dialogue and description in them. And you're going to need to make that choice today of how many images you're going to include, along with how much dialogue and description you're going to add in too. So you're going to need to include at least 3 pictures. So that is the minimum that you are going to need to do today, because the first one is going to need to be for the beginning, the next one for the middle, and the last one for the end. Okay, so you wouldn't have a complete trailer if you didn't have at least 3. Okay, for the beginning, middle, and end of your trailer. Now remember, we are not doing the whole storyline. Okay, so we're not doing an entire story that you've planned out. You are just showing the scenes, okay, that you are going to include in your trailer. Okay, so if we think back to Up, it had a few really key scenes of maybe the house flying up with the balloons and then them landing and I'm not sure where they are, okay? So it just had a few little clips that gave us a little bit of information about the story but didn't tell us the whole story, because that's why we watch a trailer, because it makes us want to watch the entire film or the programme. So these templates are going to be underneath this video on the school website, and you are more than welcome to print these off or copy these templates to give you a bit of inspiration on how to lay it out. Alternatively, you can just draw your own comic strip in your book, okay? You do not have to print these templates off or use this as a guide. It's just there to give you a bit of inspiration and a bit of help as to how you can lay it out. Okay, be as creative and imaginative as you want to with your comic strips. Okay, so before you start then, let's have a look at our steps to success today. You must design a comic strip of a trailer for a film or TV programme, so that's what you've planned yesterday. You should use images, dialogue and description to create your comic strip. You could leave your trailer on a cliffhanger to engage the audience and build suspense. So we spoke about this a bit yesterday. So what question do you want your audience to be asking when they're watching your trailer, especially at the end? And you might include feeling words in your dialogue or description so the characters really come to life, okay? So if you've got a problem, you might add in, if you're showing your problem in your trailer, you might add in a couple of feeling words like frustrated, angry, cross, disappointed, maybe confused. Lots of different feeling words that we could include in our dialogue and description today, okay? So I'd like you to pause the video now, please, and have lots of fun creating your comic strip for your trailer. Pause the video now, please. Okay, well done. I'm sure you all really enjoyed that. I can't wait to see all your lovely comic strips and all your lovely pictures and read all about your storylines. I'm sure you've been really imaginative and creative and come up with some brilliant ideas. So for your plenary then, I would like you to use your puppets that you created yesterday, and I would like you to reenact your trailer using your comic strip, okay? So go buy your comic strip, okay? And you're going to do this to check that it makes sense in the order you have written it, okay? So it still needs, even with a trailer, it still needs to be in a really clear chronological order, okay, so that the audience doesn't get confused. So this is a really good way to check that you have done it in the correct order, okay? Well done, Year 2. I'd like you to complete your plenary now, please. I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.